All right, what's poppin', party pundits? We are on for another episode of Pop Talk, episode 40. This is your man, Professor Nims. I'm giving it up for Coach Dave,
bro,
Boston Jared,
what up?
And the Casual Ran. So let's just jump into this content for the night. There's so many things to talk about. We also have a producer, so you're gonna see a little bit of glitz and kind of like glam, little bells and whistles that we've kind of added to the show. But the content is still gonna carry the in-depth analysis that you expect to see from the pundits, the most educated pundits on the internet. We're gonna start off with the women's show this weekend, and that's what we're calling it. And we're gonna highlight the two main fights, even though there is about 4 fights on that main card. We're speaking about Claressa Shields versus Savannah Marshall. And not only that, we got MAYER versus Alicia Baumgardner. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the odds. I'm gonna give the odds for that fight. And then once I do that, we're going to give a little bit of analysis and then kind of get our pundit picks for that fight. So this fight is on Saturday, October the 15th. Main card starts at 2 p.m. and the main event at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At this time, Shields is a underdog, according to Vegas Insider. So this is not fan.
She's an underdog?
She is. So, and this is it's basically even odds, but she's plus 100. So she's plus 100, and then with Marshall being a favorite at a negative 125. So this is meaning that $100 bet on Shields will get you $100, but for Marshall it would take a $125 bet to get back $100. So that's why they are labeling Shields as the underdog, which I'm surprised at. With the MAYER is the favorite at negative 350, meaning that you would need a $350 bet to get back $100, while Baumgardner is a plus 250 underdog, meaning that a $100 bet on Baumgardner would pay you back $250. So let's first start off with probably one of the, if not the greatest female matchup that we've ever seen. Claressa Shields versus Savannah Marshall. I'm going to let Coach Dave kind of start us off with this and just kind of talk about, give us a brief analysis about how you think that this fight will go on, and then we're going to hold our picks until the end, until we end up just finish talking about Shields and Marshall.
Right. Well, I think the fight definitely will go to distance. I think it's probably, real talk, it's probably a 60-40% chance of somebody getting knocked out. And then I will honestly have to go with Savannah really, really catching Claressa just with the punching power. Now, what I think is going to happen is I think that Claressa going to find out that, okay, there might have been a little change in development from the amateurs. And once she tastes that power a little bit, I think Claressa is going to absolutely put on a boxing clinic to the point to where, hey, listen, you really can't hit what you can't see. Mm-hmm. Now, it does not surprise me that they got Marshall ahead and they got Claressa as the underdog. That's just simply probably boxing politics. You're fighting over the waters. The queen has just died, and I think they actually even developed some type of new WBC belt that has Queen Elizabeth on it.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So that makes any difference. But I'm just saying, a little bit of boxing politics behind it. But I think Claressa's going to put on a boxing clinic. I think Claressa, even though she does not have a stoppage, because there's so much, a lot of stoppages, because there's so much riding on this, that girl Savannah absolutely better not get careless in her hunt to try to mitigate the boxing science and techniques of Claressa Shields. She will get caught. And likewise, Clarissa better not try to prove anything and just out the gate get up in there and stay in range of this girls' club and stuff. So, and I'll say my pick for later, but I think it's gonna go the distance with a hella fine boxing clinic put on by Clarissa Shields.
Now, I had a question I wanted to ask David. I was going to ask early in the week, but I said when I was saying for the show. Dave, can you talk about, from a training standpoint, what it does? Because these ladies were supposed to fight several weeks ago, and obviously the queen died, and they had to push that back. Can you talk a little bit about how that affects because you got these guys these girls to peak at a certain time, and now you're essentially pushing it back, whatever it was,
5 weeks. No, it's 5 weeks. It's a 5 week.
Almost over a month now. So, Dave, can you talk about that from a training standpoint? What kind of effect that can have on the fighters, whether it be adverse or otherwise?
It could. I tell you this. It could go either way. So, luckily though, for like, let's take Clarissa, let's take either Bears and definitely BAUMGARDNER, right? If anything, it might have just hit them a little bit more so on the mental and like, dang, man, I really wanted it. But somebody that does not have that, Alicia BAUMGARDNER, she is a gym rat. Yeah, they all work out and maybe prep for the fight. But Alicia BAUMGARDNER and Clarissa Shields, too, they gym rats, man. They are in there, you know what I'm saying? So if that discipline of that fighter is there, then 5 weeks off, it's like, okay, you know what? Hey, look, I might take about 1 week, man. Go ahead and get me some of that daggone that glazed donut or whatever, but I'm dead. Now, if it's an undisciplined fighter, you know what I'm saying? Then they could struggle. They could struggle. But it's on that coach, man, to get him right dead back up in that gym and literally no days off. So you hit it on the head, man. It can have both an adverse, mentally and just in terms of fight hype and I'm getting up, or just more so than just the physical stuff. But for these fights, all of them, it just builds the hatred and the anticipation, man. You saw like Alicia BAUMGARDNER and Michaela Mayers, they was even more heated, man. It's on. Hey, look, I put it to you this way, since you said like a pastor. Let me put it to you this way. Then I said, there's a Bible verse that said, a longing, fulfilled cheers the heart, but hope deferred makes the heart sick. So, you got this longing, man, that they've been wanting, and then it got them, got pushed back a little bit. But October 15th, what I'm saying? That hope fulfilled, man, makes the heart cheerful. I think you're gonna see some serious rumbling, baby. Just straight up thumping, man.
All right, so to pick that up, so just to clarify, so the belt and it's some, not to be disrespectful, but of course it's the WBC. They have added an additional belt, the Elizabethan belt. Of course, because it's just like, why not make them pay another stationing fee or something like that? But
They did it with Canelo before. They did it with Fury when he last fought. His was all white. I think
the WBC is notorious for creating belts
corruption. But let's give your analysis, Boston Jared, and then we'll end with the casual one.
Look, I'll be as short as I can. I don't have much of an analysis because I haven't seen much of either Marshall or Michaela Mayer. I've only seen a little bit of BAUMGARDNER. I've seen a lot more of
Shields.
Of Shields, but not enough where I could break the fight down. So I will say this, as far as the Mayer and the BAUMGARDNER fight, even with the Shields Marshall fight, these ladies are doing a whole heck of a lot to sell this fight. So I hope for the people who are out there who are watching this, who are watching this podcast, it's the middle of the day. There's really no reason to not watch this fight. The only thing, what network is it coming on, Cam? It's not going to be on Sky, or is it something like that? Is it?
This is going to be on
ESPN Sky Sports. So if you got ESPN
on Sky Sports, and if you're in Australia, it's on Fox. But no, it's on ESPN Sky Sports, and then Fight FITE TV.
Yeah, these ladies are selling the hell out of this fight. So everybody take time out today and support, man. This is going to be these might be the two best fights of the weekend. It's very, 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 very possible that these are the two best fights of the weekend. So that's all I'm going to say, because I haven't seen enough of any of the fighters to break it down. So that's all I'm going to say.
But I definitely would encourage you to watch some video, particularly of Marshall and
Mayer.
Baumgardner. Well, yeah, both of them, Baumgardner and Mayer. But I think we've all seen a lot of Shields. She's kind of carrying the mantle right now for women's boxing. But the casual Rand, speaking for the casual fans, what is your analysis of this fight between Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall?
Man, first off, I think this year will probably be the greatest year for women's boxing. Coming off the heels of what was it, the Katie Taylor Serrano fight a few months ago, which was an awesome ass fight. And if anything, if Claressa Shields learned anything from that fight, is the fact that these are 2-minute rounds, and if she goes in thinking that she's just going to try to knock that girl out, and then if Savannah Marshall actually box her for 2 minutes, she can end up losing this fight. So, but if she goes in, if both of them go in boxing, man, I think this is going to be an excellent fight, man. I think this is an excellent card, man. It's good for women's boxing. And since I'm the last one in here, man, I'm going with Shields for the win.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get both of your picks. So you're going to take Shields at basically even odds. Which is not bad. I think that she would be more of a risk if she was kind of like an 8-1 favorite. But I actually kind of like those odds. Shields at plus 100.
Dude, Shields been in the ring with Earl Spence. So, you know what I'm saying? So she's fought people with power. She can understand power.
She's sparred. Wait a second.
She's sparred, but she still, you know what I'm saying? The dude hit hard, and it's a man. So I'm like,
I didn't spar heavyweight.
Understand how to navigate power and box. I think she got the upper hand.
As long as she's
going to take this woman out.
Yeah, don't mislead. Let's not mislead our viewing audience here. Y'all technically correct.
Shit, been in the ring. It's the same shit that when Tank beat up Broner. You know what I'm saying? In sparring, when Earl Spence beat up Mayweather in sparring, it's still sparring. If you get hit, it's getting punched in the face. Is getting punched in the face.
To be clear, we don't have any video footage to substantiate any of the wild claims that the casual Rand is making about fighters getting beat up in sparring. But
with that said,
okay.
Let's just stay with the casual one. So we have Michaela Mayer, who is a negative 350 favorite, in Baumgardner, who's a plus 250 underdog. Let's get your pick for this.
Man, I'm going for Baumgardner. I just, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no scientific proof. I ain't got no breakdown to film, but I'm just hoping she wins, bro.
All right, let's go to Coach Dave. Let's get your pick on this.
Hey, all right. Well, look, man, I'm gonna go with Shields by absolute unanimous decision, and then I'm gonna put a caveat in there of Savannah, if she gets desperate, get caught, man. It's gonna by decision. But the caveat of desperation means Savannah might go to sleep, even though Shields doesn't have a lot of knockouts. Baumgardner and Michaela Mayer, I'm going with Baumgardner as well. Hey man, I just think if the girl can halfway match Michaela Mayer's punch output, that power is a significant neutralizer, man. And I think that's where people are sleeping on this thing. But if she doesn't match that output, it's gonna be a long night for her, man. It's gonna be a long night for my girl Baumgardner, man. But I think she knows what, like you can't come in this fight, man, not punching. You got against this girl, man.
Dave, do you think this fight, and you know, I've heard people make kind of comparable, give comparable breakdowns of this. Do you think this goes maybe similarly to how Serrano and Taylor went? Serrano being the bigger puncher but less volume, and Taylor being the high volume boxer.
It could, but I thought even in that fight though, man, I mean, I thought the both punch outputs, except towards the end, were pretty good, bro. I thought
interesting. All right.
Well,
I thought that it was Taylor's volume that eventually won the day, and Serrano started to peter off. Her volume petered off towards the last stretch of the fight.
Well, and the factor of Serrano's power, like Serrano was coming up. I believe like 2 weight.
Oh, that's true too. That is also true. Because Baumgartner's not coming up. They're both.
They're both fighting at their kind of, you know. So this was in the effort to make a super fight. So that kind of power advantage, you know, versus the volume was kind of negated by her having to come up in that weight.
And Baumgartner is chopped up. Did you see her at that press conference? She's got traps and triceps and biceps. And I did not know that Alicia Baumgartner was a wrestler at some point. I don't know if she wrestled in high school.
Nobody listening to me. I'm telling you, you sleeping on this girl's strength, and she can convert that strength into punching power. And let me tell you something. On the side, as tall as Mikaela Mayer is, and how she like to bend down, I'm gonna tell you the punch that's gonna cripple Mayers. But if she's sleeping, it's gonna catch that uppercut. She throw that uppercut and bring that head out the pocket, then twist off that hook. Night.
Man, she's stopping her, huh?
Let's
see.
So Boston, let's go with your picks for.
I'm picking with my heart here. I'm gonna pick with my heart. I want to see Baumgartner get the win. Both of the Americans. I want to see Baumgartner get the win, and I want to see Shields get the win. But again, that's just me picking with my heart, not based off of any kind of analysis.
So I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna stay with my original pick. So I got Shields beating Savannah Marshall in a closely contested decision. I think she might have to deal with a couple. I think that uppercut, I think she might lean into, like, Savannah Marshall actually has a pretty good uppercut herself. And then I'm gonna take the favorite. Even though I would not bet on her at -3.5 kind of favorite over Baumgartner, but I think that the reason that is going to be, unless she can hurt her and get her out of there, the reason that I think it's going to be hard to match that output is because she is so. I saw at the press conference today, and I was like, I immediately wanted to go to the gym and do some curls because Baumgartner is cut up. But those big muscles, they take oxygen. Even though it's a 2-minute round, so she's. I watched her last fight before this defense. What's that?
You think she didn't look bulky to me? She looks very, very, very lean, very, very defined, but very, very lean. Whereas Mayer doesn't have much of any of that muscle mass, and especially if she's a wrestler, if she's got a wrestling background. They've got that built-in kind of muscular endurance, man. I don't know that.
I know.
Go ahead, finish. I don't know that that's going to hurt.
Endurance. It's different, like boxing endurance, and like I did both. Like boxing endurance and wrestling endurance is like 2 different things. Like if she is able to tie up Mayer and to get her to grapple a little bit, then that's gonna be to her benefit. But just throwing punches. She's got big arms. I mean, they're not huge arms, but she has big arms for a woman. And like that, so? Yeah. I mean, I'll show you without there. I was kind of surprised by it a little bit, but like she got some nice little, you know what I'm saying, some guns on her. And this is even before she's even had to cut weight or do anything like that. So I mean they're on weight already, aren't they? When is the weigh-in? Well, I guess the weigh-in must be Friday. Right there. So I mean, that's just out there, but like that's a nice gun.
She did. That's a lot. She did got a lot of tricep. And
I mean,
Mayer
has
got no musculature on her at all. Like Mayer's got no muscle. Alicia is, yeah.
I mean, she's got traps and all of that. So
man, she chopped up.
She definitely chopped up. So I'm gonna go with my original pick. So I got Mayer by a tight decision, and then I'm gonna go with the GOAT over Savannah Marshall. So with that said, we are going to take a little pause right now so we can jump into the next segment.